right. Welcome to the Dragon's Tome, episode 186, Dragon Magazine 186. What does that look?
Nothing.
Rob was
It is
doing a
my
Stevie Wonder impression over there, and I
oh,
don't know. I
I,
I
I prefer an
apologize.
Axl Rose. I think it was an Axl Rose.
Well,
so here
recording
we
back
are in
like this is
October,
unacceptable.
October 92. Got the Halloween edition this time.
Yeah.
What do we think about this cover? It's scary.
It's by Thomas Baxa. It's a vampire about to murder this guy, although he's got some kind of spell getting ready. Looks like a light spell. Maybe it'll zap the vampire.
Or he's a cleric and he's casting a holy spell.
Maybe he's casting Turn Undead.
Maybe.
I would have to say he's a cleric because he's wearing chainmail.
She is a looker. I'd let her bite my neck anytime.
Oh,
I'm a desperate boy.
he's
Rob,
very sinewy.
remember when Keanu Reeves was in Dracula, and the three
Yeah. When
that
did
was
that come out?
that was those vampires. I would let them bite me.
What else can we say about this cover, I guess, right?
Now I got
It's
Very
Jack has
it's
to.
appropriate. It's appropriate for the month. That's the important part. For me, it's October. We got spoopy cover.
What year is this?
92.
And it's October 92?
Yep.
Next month, Bram Stoker's Dracula comes out, Jack.
Oh,
Yeah. Right.
really?
Yeah. You were pretty spot on there, buddy.
I was just thinking of sexy women. That's all.
I was too. Look at that vampire on the cover.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
it's a
Well-
classic cover. It's nice. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not the best. It's not the worst. I'm okay with it.
I will say that this cleric is in trouble. This vampire is way too close at this point.
Yeah. He's got a spell ready. It's about to go off. Whatever that spell is, it better be good.
Unless she interrupts him, cancels the spell.
He sees her coming though.
This is second edition now. Remember, we have segments, casting times.
No, that little bikini she's wearing, the leather, the belts, this isn't her first rodeo. That cleric, he's in for a good time, but not a
She's
long
been
time.
around. She's been around.
You're in for a good time, not a long time.
All right, Rob, are you doing a editorial?
Am I doing an editorial? Of course I'm doing an editorial.
So let's go to page 8 then.
That is it. This is a big one because this is Roger E. Moore talking about the biggest, the baddest Gen Con / Origins 1992. This was the height of Gen Con excess. This was so much that people were spending millions of dollars on booths that they eventually had to stop because people were like, we're losing money because it just was getting bigger and bigger. This was the year of the 3-story TSR castle that took up a city block, as we can see in this picture, that people sieged at one point. It was like a big thing. FASA had a cityscape mural for Shadowrun 2 that was Shadowrun that was 2 stories high and twice as wide, so huge. Steve Jackson Games had a life-size laser cannon and a huge ogre tank mock-up. Cthulhu for President was running full swing, walking around the clapping their clappers, and and
What's going on?
needless to say, a lot was happening at this Gen Con.
Let's be professional now. Let's be professionals.
Anyways, yeah, Steve. Jesus Christ, my phone just exploded. Anyways, this was a big deal at this Gen Con. It was the big one that people talk about. It's in Milwaukee, where it's like you can't turn it down. I tried. I thought I did. Anyways, it was in Milwaukee, and we were just there for Adepticon at a different building because this building that this was at got torn down and the new one was built. But yeah, big show. He also mentions an Aztec style mecha game. I'm like, what the hell is that? Like that's such a weird thing. And he mentions it. He doesn't say the name. He just says, "Yeah, there's an Aztec style mecha game." We're like, what the hell does that mean?
I could, in my mind, I'm thinking like solar punk, Mesoamerican with like the reptile faces and jaguars and the stone. All the iconic. I think that would rock.
That kind of would actually think about it. All right, Jack, where do you want to go next?
I want to go to whatever party Rob's getting invited to. That
Yeah.
sounds lovely.
Well, let's be honest, Jack. We're not cool enough to go to that party, so let's just
I mean,
stick with our plan.
Guys, let's
do
just be honest. I'm not cool enough to go to that party.
This is the guy who was in the mosh pit at a Cradle of Filth concert not 2 weeks ago. So he's definitely cooler than us. Okay. If we could go to page 13, please.
123? No, 13.
Your castle may already have residents with ideas of their own. Michael Gabriel wrote a kind of, it's part idea factory, part listicle, which we do love a good random table. We do.
This is one of mine.
This is one of yours?
Yeah. So keep going.
Well, he's giving you permission.
But carte
No,
blanche.
I'm saying continue what you're saying, then I'll jump in when you're done.
Okay. So yes, the overall theme is, hey, your characters they've got themselves a castle, but are they alone? No, because there's undead hauntings, there's phantasmal occurrences, there's
There's the trapped vampire.
Yes, Carrie Ann gets sucked in on the television. All the uses,
Uses.
You like that?
I do like the word uses.
Is that young and hip enough for me to get Skibbity Toilet with your whatever you're up to?
Oh, that's too young, Jack. That's getting illegal.
Okay. I'm learning. Yes. So it's kind of a little interesting supernatural twist to home ownership, if you will, in your D&D game. What could spice things up? I do see some points where the people I've played with would be relishing the idea and would feed into this like it was. There would be sacrifices, anything to increase the spectral activity. They would be finding every key master and every Zool they could find because they would love this. But
it'd just be like a fun house.
Other things he shows too in this thing, not only just for ways to hide ghosts or other people, is that it's also some ideas for you connect different campaign settings. He does specifically mention Ravenloft quite a bit through this. It's, you can use this as a way to get into Ravenloft, blah blah blah. So,
yeah. Well, it's very useful just to have, because sometimes it's hard to think of like different stuff, and this is like a nice list of different things. It's not just normal.
Yeah,
hey,
it's a good variety.
It's a poltergeist. It's got some weird shit going on here.
Yeah, and I mean it has undead hauntings, some curses, and phantom shifts. Phantom. I think I had a stroke.
Oh no, you're in the right place at least.
In the right place.
Oh.
But yeah, it's good, and there's quite a few variety there. So I think it's a very good list.
Yeah, it's fun. Once again, it's nice for Halloween.
It is. All right. Well, let's head to page 22 then.
Bestiary. Hey, it's Spike Jones.
Dragon's Bestiary. Yeah.
What is that first word? Carried.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. So these are all new Undead Sphere campaign. What I got out of this though is that these were more like good undead than evil undead.
That must be a
like the
real
carrion.
word, right? Like that must be some like
I do think so.
yeah,
Because
It
what I
is.
put in my notes is I think that because of the weird names, I think these are all
actual
Celtic
things. Yeah.
Celtic uh, fairies from back in the day. The carrion is a nice alternative to banshee, which was uh, it does the exact opposite of banshee, protects and makes people feel safe with their song.
Ooh, I like one of them. I
Yeah,
just keep hearing the
and then
wailing.
there's the memento mori, which is a creature ghost that is cast or bound to whoever died, so it would guard that person's grave and stuff like that. So, but because one of these creatures has a weird name, memento mori, and then what's the last one? The tiger Haid. It really makes me think this is kind of either Scottish or Irish in ancestry or whatever you want to call it.
There's a comedian that does all the British panel shows named Carrie, and she's very funny. But I don't know if it's spelled the same. I don't know. But when I saw this, I'm going to assume for the rest of my life that her name means ghost.
Is her
It's not
last
fair to her.
is her last
It's
name
not
Yes
fair to her.
Bird? Because that means ghost
But
lover.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Well, memento mori is that's a Roman thing. That's to remember death because when you're to live life better, you have to remember that you're going to die. That's pretty much what memento mori means.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
And to do it right, you have to do it out of chronological order via tattoos and Polaroids.
Oh, classic. What year did that come out?
I don't know.
It's got to be 2000s. I would think Memento's got to be 2000s. I'm going to look it up.
Memento.
Vamp.
Vamp?
Vamp. Remember that Foo Fighter commercial that had the memento mori in it?
No.
2000. Year 2000. So 8 years from now, Memento comes out.
Oh, Sam Rockwell. Anyways,
All right. Well, those are nice undeads. I do like the carrion. I wish I could say the last word. Hybrid. Herb.
He is having a stroke.
Irish. All right, Rob, what's your next article?
Let's go to page 90, unless that's Jack's. Jack, is yours page 90?
no, sir. Mine is a silly one. No one's choosing mine.
Maybe.
No, mine's not.
Page 90. This is, or sorry, not 92, or 91. 91. Stupid PDF versus thing. 91. The Game Wizards. This makes no sense. I just like to point that out because the Games Wizards is supposed to be background between some game that came out. This has nothing to do with that. This is just an article about villains. Why is it in the Game Wizards? I'm waiting for your answers. Why is this a Game Wizards? And at the end, it's not like, oh yeah, because I all this because I'm writing a villains book or something. Nothing. It's just he talks about how to make a good villain, which is fine.
Traditionally, it would be like a James Ward writing about what he was doing. Like it's been
Well, last week it was about the Dragon Quest game. That was the Game Wizard. That makes sense. This makes no
been
sense.
insider.
This is just a William W. Connors writing an article about villains, and for some reason they decided to call it a Game Wizards. It makes no sense. Just call it something else. Why?
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Maybe the game is called Villains.
But then he should talk about it. If there's a game that's called Villains, he should be talking about it. He does just talk about making a good villain. He uses Darth Vader a lot as an example. And yeah, it's a fine article about if you want to flesh out a villain to make him more believable and more three-dimensional. We've had tons of articles like this. And yeah, I'm just very confused. Why? Why, God, why?
Why?
Why isn't it just an article called Villains? How to make them better?
Maybe it was supposed to. Maybe they put it in the wrong article section.
Somebody screwed up somewhere. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
That's all I'm
Jack,
saying.
you got another article?
I do because 2 is the loneliest number. We're going to go to page 74, please.
That was mine.
Well, did you go to a very specific portion?
I hope so.
The right-hand side of the article, the third column,
Ooh, maybe.
way down.
Maybe.
Groot, the monster from Planet X.
Groot.
Groot, this is the humble beginnings of the fan favorite of the Guardians of the Galaxy that we know and love from the movies, from cinema.
Sort of.
Sort of, but it is the humble beginnings of a Groot, the monster from Planet X, for the Marvel superheroes game. His backstory discusses his plant control, his flight. I didn't know he had flight, but
he
I guess he's
obviously
got to get
travels
to
through
Earth.
space.
Yeah, he's got to get to Earth somehow, so you got to give him flight. He's a giant wooden tree-like guy who absorbs wood and to grow his powers to become more powerful. And in the original story, apparently he comes to Earth. His destruction of various sheds, outhouses, wooden structures, barrels. Imagine being a Cooper at the time. Oof. I'm ruined. He wouldn't even have a barrel to wear with suspenders once he was impoverished because it would be gone. But in the original story, apparently he came across some people who just happened to be a man and woman who were scientists.
Oh no!
And those scientists,
what were they studying, Jack?
Termites.
Oh no! What's the chance?
Space termites who were able to defeat young Groot in his prime, and so that was it. Put the kibosh on Groot's plans of, I don't know. It says he's a very knowledgeable Earth fan, so I don't know.
He's super smart. He has an excellent knowledge of English. All these things you know about Groot.
Everything you know about Groot. Defeated by a strain of termite that the people were working on in their lab.
It must have been. It must have been one of those things where the writer, I don't know who is it Amnett and Lanning who did Groot originally in Guardians of the Galaxy? They must have just been like, look at this tree guy. This story is so stupid. Let's use this tree guy as a character in our Guardians of the Galaxy story.
You mean in the movies, like why he was chosen, or like why?
Well, in the comic book, like later when they wrote the comic book that the movies are based on. That
okay?
Why did they choose Groot?
That is two distinct things. Like yes, in the comic book he does become, but then I also thought in the movie. So yes, and I don't have a rational answer for either. Don't get me wrong. I'm only asking for clarification. I'm not going to come.
If Adnett or Landing are listening to us, I think because that's who brought him in. Please tell us. Did you just randomly pick Groot because it was just such a stupid story, or you needed a tree-based person and someone's like, we already have one of those. It's called Groot.
And I'm assuming this was one of those strange tales.
Oh yeah, this is from like early '60s, maybe in '50s. It was like,
wasn't meant to be canonically in a multi-universe situation. It was a monster from space, and then it was defeated, done and done. Maybe a puppet that looks like a desiccated human would cackle at the
Oh yeah, for sure it was one
of
those.
Ha ha ha! But but that was Groot.
He looks so much like he does later too. He's very square and stocky.
He does have very small, stout frame.
He's like a tree trunk
with antlers.
Anyways, it was. I thought it was funny too. I knew about Groot before, but it was funny to see him in here because little do they know that he becomes a worldwide phenomenon.
Now he's the bee's knees.
He is the bee's knees.
We walked out. It was me, my girlfriend Janet, and Rob. I think it was just us when we went to see the Guardians of the Galaxy first. And when we were standing up, we said if they had Baby Groot toys, plushies, anything outside, like if we walked out of that theater and it was packed.
And at the time, because they thought Guardians of the Galaxy was going to fail horribly. There was no merchandise for when Guardians of the Galaxy first came out. There was nothing, and we were like, yeah, they missed the boat. There should be Baby Groot stuff. Meanwhile, then later there was Baby Groot everywhere. But
yes, but at the time, like it would have been a money making bonanza.
Yeah.
It would have been shocking. It would have been the GDP of like half the countries on the planet in just baby Groot nonsense.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was funny. Little
All
did they
right.
know.
Let's move on then to page 98.
98.
Role playing.
This is my other one. I'm going to be done.
Well,
Ooh,
I'm only really focusing on the one.
Which one?
The Call of Cthulhu 5th edition.
Yes.
I point out here because it's 92, right? It's 5th edition. We are 2024. And we
2025.
just started.
It's 2025, Pat.
Well, no, I'm saying 2024, 7th edition just finally.
Oh, yeah,
So within that span of time, we've only gone 2 editions.
Yeah, it just shows how good Call of Cthulhu is. You don't have to change it too much.
Yes. It gets a 5-star review, but the thing that kills me is that Rick Swan says is surprised that the game survived past first edition as it violated every acceptable principle of game design.
Yeah, your heroes are wimps. They go insane easily. They die at the drop of a hat. It's like everything that you don't want to have a heroic character do. But yeah, it was different. That's
Here
why.
it is. Just not like you said. 7th edition just came out in the last 2-3 years, and 92 5th edition is just coming out. So
Yeah, it's not too many editions.
it's a solid set of rules in that sense. So
And it pretty much he says at first he was like, why you need another edition, but they kind of made it heroes last a little longer in this edition.
Yeah.
You get a little more points to spread around. You're not so wimpy in
I
the
think
5th.
the sanity loss is not as bad.
And you get more skill points, so you're a little bit more, skilled at things. But he said it was a worthwhile addition for the old Call of Cthulhu.
All right, Jack, you got anything to go?
me?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. We did My Castle May Be Haunted, Groot. No, I am tapped for articles.
Rob, what do you got?
Well, let's just stay here since we're still here. I just want to say that the Chill covers are the most gorgeous covers I've ever made. Like, look at those covers for the vampires and the lycanthropes and apparitions. Like, they're like watercolor, beautiful art. Chill, it makes me want to get these because they look so good. I have the original Chill book, but I don't have any of the supplements. But it's such a beautiful thing. He gives them pretty bad reviews. I think he likes the vampire one, but he said the other ones are kind of surfacey and pretty much just telling you what you already knew about lycanthropes and apparitions. It wasn't anything special. But he said I think he said the vampire one is a must buy though. So, anyways, Mayfair
Just
Games.
The style, the like, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing you want on the wall. They're very beautiful artwork.
Yeah, they're good looking pictures for sure.
It's funny coming from Mayfair Games too, because they're kind of known for, they're not known for this kind of stuff, but then for some reason, Chill, they've got the great stuff for the Chills.
And sadly, I don't know the artist's name, but
No.
whoever it was,
Yeah, do they give him credit?
Whoever, if it's multiple people doing the same, just gorgeous.
Oh, here we go. The covers are done by Joe Della Velasco. Di Velasco. Joe Di Velasco. So, Joe.
The apparitions and just the apparitions was edited by our good friend, Duck.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
Really?
Yeah, he's working at Mayfair Games at this point. He had left TSR.
That's cool. Yeah. So it's yeah. I might be looking into trying to find these. Maybe they'll be at Games Plus next time. We're gonna summon them.
It might be because I don't think we ever.
I never. I always look through all their stacks, and I never remember to look at Mayfair Games because I'm always like, what game companies? Because it's sorted by game companies. So I'm always looking at Artalis or like the ones I know, but then I never think of Mayfair. So I will next time. If me, brain like a steel trap. I'll remember for sure.
Exactly.
Famous.
Rob, do you have any more articles? You're done.
I think that was my last one. Yep, that was my last one.
Jack, where do you want to go for your ad?
My ad. Can we go to page 67, please?
Hey, look, it's a T-Rex.
Tyrannox, a different kind of party animal. Now, I know Rob famously hates dinosaurs.
Oh, that's not true. I famously hate mammals.
He hates all manner of dinosaurs, reptiles, anything prehistoric. This is a board game of types in the primeval world. It's a survival based where you play as a dinosaur and you're trying to make it to the top of the food pyramid. I don't know the mechanics. I don't know anything about it. Never even heard of it.
It looks pretty shitty. Sorry, Jack.
There's dinosaurs.
It definitely looks very Candyland to me.
Yeah, look at that board. It's beautiful art, but the actual board looks so basic.
Wow. Well, now I'm going to look like a chump guy saying it looks pretty sweet.
The actual gameplay,
I thought
I like the art.
I thought it looked nice.
It just doesn't look like it looks like you're just moving your guys across a board. It doesn't look like there's anything happening.
It looks like a track base with chits and
You're not selling me on this.
it looked like it goes through different eras. I don't know. I'm shocked.
It is
Maybe
by
an
Avalon Hill, so
It is. I'm gonna say it is an Avalon Hill game. So
Maybe
Well-
it's my love of dinosaurs.
maybe next birthday, Jack. Maybe you'll get a Tyranno X. We gotta look this
I
up.
don't-
I bet it's so
no.
expensive.
I've told you, you've got a full decade after the horde that was the
Torg.
Torg. That's it. That's it. A full 10 years. I don't want to see a thing because I can't throw out too much more. Like I'm down. I'm pretty.
He's
Spartan
down to
now.
one pair of underwear.
That's true.
all right.
He doesn't wear
Rob, what do you
underwear.
got? What do you got for Ned?
For an ad. Do I have ads? I do have ads. Let's go to page 7 because this was just a query for you guys. It's just a
We don't use that language here.
it's a World and Books ad, but I'd never heard of Mighty Fortress campaign source book. Either of you ever heard of this one?
No.
I don't remember that one either.
No. It looks like it might be Europeans. Oh no, it's not. It's Spanish Inquisition, Three Musketeers. Oh, I thought it was maybe Mesoamerica or something with Spanish invading. So it's like a spear and a gun, but no, it looks like it's Three Musketeers kind of thing. Never heard of it. And I wouldn't use that as a Three Musketeers kind of. I wouldn't use Mighty Fortress. What a weird name. And
Yeah.
what a weird symbol on it. It's a gun and a spear. Like that makes no sense. So
At no point does that scream D'Artagnan.
No.
Like it
or Spanish
it is-
Inquisition or Cromwell's Roundheads. Like you'd think you put a Roundhead on the damn thing.
Yeah.
it could be anything, but it must have come out. But I've never seen it.
Once again, maybe it's the end of the Splat books. This is like one of the last ones that didn't get much. I think the green ones didn't get as many like printings
Yeah,
either.
definitely for sure.
They weren't as popular as the other ones. So yeah,
This is probably more for historical people than anything else.
yeah, I think it was one of those things like trying to appeal to historical gamers. But yeah, I'd never heard of this one. That's why I was confused. Also, I'd never heard of treasure maps either by AD&D, but that's kind of more of one of those things, supplement things where this is a book of maps, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That was my
All
first ad.
Go to 62 then for my ad.
62, this was one of my ads too.
Dungeons and Dragons Genesis.
Genesis,
So
I think this is our
this,
first Genesis ad, I believe.
Yeah, I've never played this game, but I should see if I should get it because I did buy my wife a working Sega Genesis for Christmas one year, so she could play Sonic. So I could actually play this game if I can find it.
Genesis, I had a Sega Genesis. I never had this game either, but it looks very much like a
Little Radiance kind of thing.
yeah, like the what's the other one? Not Final
I'm
Fantasy.
going to try and look for it.
Fantasy Star, that kind of
Yeah, I
thing.
want to try and look for it and play it. Yeah, and try it out since we
It looks fun.
have a working machine.
It looks like it's got the classic map, and then you go into a dungeon and it's 3D in the dungeon. Looks fun.
Yeah.
It's not.
All right,
this
Rob.
is an SSI game. I don't think so. They must not be making games for consoles.
No, this is an actual Sega game
Yeah, I'm just trying
made
to
by
see.
Sega.
Yeah, is it actual Sega makes this game? That's crazy.
Yep.
Uh,
Right,
Jack.
Jack, you got another ad?
No, I'm tapped out for this this episode, which is good. We've all done
It's a short one.
our best.
Yeah.
Well, we have our infirmed friend here. His scrotal lift is scheduled for Saturday, so I don't know. Botox is the right way to do it, but
You want some bigger,
100%
plumper.
really. All right, Rob, you got another article ad by any chance?
Can you hear that? That's something outside my house.
I heard something.
I didn't hear anything.
It sounded like somebody was dragging I don't know, something behind their car. Anyways, it was a weird noise. Let's go to page 21 because this is very confusing to me. Oversized, heavy, mechanized units. OMU.
Yeah, this is
OMU?
one of mine.
I was like, what the hell is this?
OMU.
That picture looks a lot like BattleTech. Somebody's going to sue somebody. But is this a
I think it's just an agnostic miniature mech game.
Yeah, is this the BattleTech clone? Is this somebody trying to get in on the BattleTech bandwagon? TBA Games, never heard of them. They're from England,
Yep.
so we can't say much about them. But yeah, even the description sounds just like BattleTech. Like it's just another one of those clone games. This time it's for the BattleTechs. I'd be curious to check this out too. We have another show. I don't know if you've ever heard of this other show that we have.
Called Mobile Armor Radio.
Mobile Armor Radio, yes.
And we do talk about mechs all the time, and we talk about mech games all the time, and this is one that I've never heard of, so it's kind of odd. So I just thought I'd mention it.
And which Mobile Armor Radio was I on? Do you remember?
You were in March of 2025.
March. Mobile Armor Radio, MAR, and March, the shorthand.
Are you describing the joke, Jack?
Again,
This is just because we're recording back to back, but I can do the same joke twice.
Because this time I might actually catch it. I don't.
No, you wouldn't.
I refuse.
Having spite.
That's my last ad, anyways.
all right, let's dig ourselves out of this hole and go to page 89 for my last ad.
89. Let's talk about it for half an hour because we're a little short.
I think we're
Thank you, Packer
right
said.
on schedule.
All done.
This is the last one.
Last of the big sets come out. Well, 93 is the last one, but it's the last of the big sets. The 93 set is like a half of this size.
Probably because they were like, "Hey, let's make this set," and then all of a sudden, little thing called Magic came along. Like, oh crap, let's make a CCG instead. This one's got all the Spelljammers and the Dark Suns and the Ravenlofts and the Alkadeems.
Yes.
And classics like Dragonlance, Greyhawk, and Forgotten Realms, of course. And Patrick has all these box sets.
I do. I feel the show, but I'm not at my house.
He didn't bring it with him to the hospital. What kind of fan is he?
I did
That's what
not.
I'm saying.
No. All right. Well, that's it. Quick show.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
Doesn't see here.
Well, we can take this moment to say, please like, share, subscribe. We never do say it. Ring that bell. Point at Jack's genitals. Jack wants you to message below. That's what he's pointing for. So please leave him a missive that he will not read. He'll pretend not to read, but he actually reads them
We'll
because.
pretend not to read. Yeah, he loves reading those comments. We all love reading the comments too. So.
And yeah, please tell us. I don't know. We had questions. I always have questions. I never remember what they are because Steel Trap. Remember? I remember that part.
Exactly.
Mayfair Games.
Mayfair Games, that's right.
See? I'm good. I'm good so far. What's that been? 20 minutes?
Good.
I'll keep remembering. It's only going to be about 6 months before I get back to Chicago. It'll be fine. Everything's good here. Nothing to see.
All right. Well, then, I guess let's wrap it up. I guess for the Dragon's Home, I've been your host, Chopper.
And I'm Jack.
And I'm Rob.
Hopefully, we'll see you again next week. If
Hopefully.
my score lift is through.
Hashtag pray for Pat.
Hashtag pray for Pat's scrotum.
Hashtag scorelift.com.
Hashtag balls up. Okay.
That's a
And with
short.
that,
That's a short.
sign out.
I gotta get.
We're out of here. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.